and welcome to D's 20 Stitches. I'm D, my pronouns are he and they. I'm a trans cross-stitcher and designer, and it is September. This is a Flosstube. We're talking cross-stitch. We're talking how clean, well, not really, but I cleaned. Everything is in buckets down here, and it's fall. I've started a new job. We got lots of stuff to talk about. So stay tuned. I've got finishes. I've got new releases. I've got problems. And you can just go on that trip with me. So first, I filmed something previous to this. So I'm going to drop that in. It is a finish. It is a Halloween finish. It is not only a Halloween finish, but it is a Halloween new release from Uncanny, Kari, and I. I haven't even talked about it on Instagram, and you're going to see the whole thing. I haven't even released it yet, and you're going to see the whole thing. So here's Dee from the past. Hi, it's me, and I'm upstairs. You're seeing for the first time upstairs. I'm filming up here because downstairs is a mess. It's a mess. So I'm gonna film up here, and I want to show you something. Let's show you that finish. This is a special sneak peek and also a sad little story that I've got to talk to you about. So, last year, Kari and I did a piece for Fangirl Fibers. I think it was like camping outdoorsy box, spooky box. And Kari designed this really cool smoke monster, and I turned it into a cross stitch. That's how we work. And it was really loved by Kari and I, but I don't know if the box sold very well. I don't know if the theme was people weren't into it, but I liked it. So this year we decided to release it to the general public. It's going to be released in October, and but I wanted to stitch it in Brin and Needle floss. So let me show you what it looks like. Let's see. There we are. This is Campfire Nightmare. I think this is what we're going to call it. First of all, if you're ever wondering how that Brin and Needle speckled floss stitches up, that's how it stitches up with these little blobbies that I love. So the smoke turned out so well. This is actually Fangirl Fibers fabric and Brin and Needle floss. This is, I think, 38 count, and it's just one strand. And there's the cool fire. It's a little washed out, but the fire turned out so neat. I'll show you the thread separately too. And actually on the back of this I had the original that actually Kari stitched. Kari stitched this one. I had to frog out the campfire for it to fit. Let me show you the flosses. So I feel like it took forever to stitch this piece. And that's only because I started in September, and the week before school I got a call, and I started working from day one. I thought I would have like a week of no work, but I started working on day one. I got some classes. I picked up some classes from a teacher who needed to take a mental health break, and I'm still working. And so having teaching when I'm planning for a couple classes cut seriously down on my stitching time. And this was, I mean, it's not a small, I would say a medium stitch. It's nice that you can just go line by line and stitch line. Here, I'll show you what the back looks like. It's messy. She's messy. I just went up and down, line by line. Yes, I used all that floss. Yes, it's a mess, but what are you going to do? Fight me? Here is the main flosses. The smoke is called Man in the Mountain. And Man in the Mountain is kind of special to me because I'm a New Hampshire person. And in New Hampshire, we used to have something called the Man in the Mountain. It's also stitched by George Street 1975, which is the yellowy speckle. And then St. Jaws, which is that yellowy cream. Lassie Moggs, one of my favorite flosses of theirs. That's kind of the orange, deep orange. And then Mabon, which is the brown. Now you'll notice I have other flosses here. And I have other flosses here because I had planned a triptych. I had planned 2 more panels with a little mouse and a little frog, and they are going to have their own spooky little wood creatures kind of haunting them. I think the mouse has a fern man, like a really terrifying fern man, if I do say so myself. And I think the frog has a little scary tree behind him. And it's a lot of stitching. It's a lot of stitching, and I finished this, let's see, I'm filming this on the 18th. I finished this maybe 2 days ago. And that's that's halfway through the month. And I still have Stitch for Pride stuff to do. So if I had to do all this and then pick all this out and then do 2 more panels, I think it would have taken me all month. And I didn't need the pressure. I didn't. You know how sometimes you put too much on your plate? Sometimes you can just take stuff out. So I decided we're going to release this guy. And the 2 panels are going to be kind of like bonus panels. They'll be included in the pattern, hopefully. I'm deciding it now. I'm talking to you in the middle of September, but maybe something changes. I don't know. And there'll be bonus patterns included in this pattern that you can choose to stitch. But because I can't test stitch them and I'm not model stitching them, they'll be kind of included as bonus patterns. But I like him. And I like my little frog and mouse that I designed and did not stitch. But if you like him, you want some kind of spooky campfire goodness, then it will be available, I think, hopefully, my plan, October 1st. But question mark. But this is me, D, September 18th. I don't know what D, September 30th is going to be like. We'll see. But look for it at the beginning of October. And also, I will let Bryn and Needle know all these flosses that we used so they can have them ready for you as well. These are the other colors that I had planned. This is the Danny Gorgon. I love this color, a deep blue. This is another speckle January. A sing-song way of Talkin, light green, and then a dark green pirate glass. We use pirate glass for toomies. So I love this palette. Look, I love it. So I want to be able to get those other 2 panels in that pattern so you enjoy this kind of, I call it a Halloween in the Pacific Northwest. The palette and the pattern. That's the feels that I got, where it's, everything's still green. We don't have a lot of leaves that change color, or when they change color, they go real quickly because the rain just falls. And so all the leaves are very instantly on the ground and they turn moldy and brown. So we have our evergreens and our ferns. So when you're camping in October and it's raining and you're keeping cozy and you're surrounded by like shadowy green evergreens and redwoods, then, it's a very Pacific Northwest feel. Anyway, I think so. Anyway, Campfire, what are we calling it? Campfire Nightmare? I like to call it the Midnight Society, but again, I don't have those other two panels. Campfire Nightmare Fair, look for it in October, and look for these flosses at Brenda Needle. Okay? Okay, take it away, D from the future. Bye. That was D from the past, and they had some incorrect information. Number one, we are not releasing it October 1st because time. Kari is right now on a dream vacation to Salem, Massachusetts. Shout out to New England. And it's not ready. Like, things, we need pictures. I need to finish the 2 little triptych pieces that go with it. It's not done. You won't have it October 1st. There, I said it. But you will have it in October. We'll get it done as soon as we can get pictures and we can put stuff together. So what will happen is you will get the pattern you see, and then you'll get 2 free mystery patterns that go along with it. And I'm really excited. I hope you're excited too. And I did my whole spiel before, so I don't need to do it now, right? I forget what I said back then. But I do know I did mention October 1st as a release, and that is not happening. Okay, let's get to another finish. And in fact, we have another kind of 2 finishes. So, if you don't know me, I run a monthly SAL. It's called Stitch for Pride, and Stitch for Pride gives you 12 months, 12 2S LGBTQIA artists to learn about, and a motif that is inspired by them to stitch about. To stitch, not about. And in August, now hold on, before I show, I've decided I am going to just show you. I'm not going to hide the motif that I stitched for October. In fact, I'll give you a preview. You and I, this is episode 30. If you've been with me for this long, you deserve a little sneak peek. So let's talk about September. No? Was this? Yes. Let's talk about September. This was September. They look like flying geese. Let's see if I can get it more. Yeah. They look like flying geese, but they are shark teeth. This is representing the indigenous artist Lehuauakea. And they are a indigenous and traditional kappa maker, which is a traditional way of making fiber and paper in the Pacific. And so they, in their art, they have these triangle pattern they call a shark tooth pattern, which is very, very prominent in Polynesian and Pacific Islander art. And I thought we could just use some quick little triangles, meditative triangles. Ooh, come on, friend. There we are. I love the fabric, I love the floss that Jazz of Knitting Nurse picked, this kind of earthy balance there. I love it a lot. And you know what? Because I love you, here's what October is. I'm not going to say anything, but I bet you can guess who this is. Can you? You've probably seen his work. And you're probably a little surprised that he is here. Maybe you did not know. He belongs with all these other artists. But I can't wait for you to discover him. And I hope you had a really good exploration of Lehuauakea's art. Fantastic. Okay. There's that. I finished that. I finished October. I finished September. We're good on that. those are my finishes. Now let's talk whips. Okay, because of things, which I mentioned in the little blurb that I spliced in, that I filmed earlier, because of work, because of this model, I have been not able to stitch as much as I want. But looking at my whips, I think I have some good progress. So I'm really excited to show you some things. The first thing that I want to show you is last month's new start, which was very popular. You all love this. Why do I have washi tape just stuck to things? This is from the world of cross stitching. Oh, it's so wrinkled, but I don't iron anything. This is Peter Rabbit. There he is. I got his whole face done and his little eyes. I even backstitched his little eyes. I started his collar. This is on. What is it on? Let's say some natural linen. I would say this is 28 count. It is going to take up this whole thing. He's bigger than I thought. I am working on this for my niece who really loves Peter Rabbit. I'm hoping to make a tote, because you know me and totes. Let's see, do I have a picture of... Yes. I got this from my Libby app. Libby is a magazine app that is connected to your library card. So if your library has the magazine, then you can get it through the app. So my library has the World of Cross Stitch magazine, so I can get all the patterns with my library card digitally. And then I print it out, and I have it, and I'm working. And you get to support the library too. How cool is that? This I wanted done for January, but because my niece's birthday is in January. Can you imagine having a January birthday? A Capricorn? Is that going to happen? But we can all dream, can't we? There's Peter Rabbit. Okay, my partner and I went down to the States yet again. We went to a baseball game. We saw a Seattle Mariners game. I love American Major League Baseball. I love American baseball. And it ain't the sport. The sport is kind of boring. But I'm also a person who watches F1, so, which is also boring. It's not the ball or the bases. It's everything else. Everything else that's going on. Everything else. You walk. I got the food. I got Japanese curry. Colin got dim sum. I had spam musubi during the 7th inning stretch. It was fantastic. And if you go to a Mariners game, sometimes they have spare hot dogs. And during the 9th inning, they have something called Hot Dogs for Heaven, where they put hot dogs in a tube, and they attach little parachutes to them, and then they throw them from the ceiling, and they float down, and you can get a hot dog. Free hot dog. Genius. These Americans. Anyway, we went down to the States, and I always complain I don't have a good travel cross stitch. I don't have a lot of Ada. I don't have a lot of large count. So I decided, why the heck not? Let's just bring one of my biggest, oldest whips with me and see how much I can get done. This is St. Reatham Longdog samplers. That's how big it is. I've been going at this since January 2020. And it's big, and I'm more than 50% done. I'm more than 50% done. And I thought, okay, this is 28 count. It's a really loose linen. And it's monochromatic, so it should be easy stitching. And you know what, folks? I was right. Because it's white floss on a darker, looser linen, I got a lot of car stitching done. So this is kind of where we started. I got that little cool peacock tail. I stitched nope. And this is really easy car stitching. These Longdogs. So I got a whole dog in there, a dog and a half in there. Look at that. Fantastic. So this is good car stitching. You could stitch a whole sampler in your car. Did you know that? Get a huge 28 count. Fantastic. Especially something repetitive. Now, tragedy, I really messed up this big motif. I'm going to have to, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and then come back and see. I think there's one, I dropped once, or I added a stitch somewhere. It's wider than it needs to be. So we're gonna work backwards on that one, because I ain't tearing anything out. That's the rule with Longdog. Don't tear anything out. There's so many stitches. No one will notice. No one will notice. Slap. Okay. What's next? Oh, okay. Okay. Now, I was going through it at the beginning of September. As mentioned previously, I had that big model stitch and it felt like it took forever. While I was big model stitching, I had a new job that I didn't expect. They called me up and I'm right in the classroom, right with new classes. And also I did my first big show. I'm a MC for a Dragon Burlesque. Of course I am. Look at me. And I decided to make a large headpiece, costume piece for that, because that's my life. And so school, model, headpiece, I went through, and then Stitch for Pride, because I have to do my model stitching for Stitching for Pride. I went through 3 weeks of September, and all these things were fine to stitch, but it's not what I really wanted to stitch. It's September. I love September because it's Sampler September. I do love samplers, all types, reproduction and non-reproduction, modern and old. Like, I love something about samplers. And it was the 21st of September. Wait, there's a song about that, right? 21st? No. Is it the 21st or is it the 12th? Do you remember? 21st day of... It is the 21st. Sorry, I had to... On that holy day where we worship Earth, Wind, and Fire. I had not stitched any samplers in September. In fact, I was doing work. I was doing model stitching. So I decided, speaking of the 21st day of September and Earth, Wind, and Fire, there are some people like Sheila of the Sunshine Stitchers who do a daily rotation change of what they stitch. And to me, it blows my mind doing that, changing up I've never done that. And I don't know why. I think it's just like you have to take everything off the Q-snap, you have to set everything up. It just... It bring up the bag, find the bag, figure out where my whip is and find it, and it seems like too much of a hassle. But I now had a week and 3 days left in September, and I had done no Sampler September stitching. So I decided to jump in, do a Sheila, and have a daily rotation. And not only that, I downloaded the app in which you push the button and it spins a wheel. I was pretty proud of myself. And I have stitched, I let the wheel choose daily, starting on the 21st, after I finished my Stitch for Pride October. I let the wheel choose. Now, the wheel seems a little biased because it's hit on 2 projects twice. But I guess that's random. Let me show you this wheel. Let me just get impressed with me. Let's see. Tiny Decisions. It's called Tiny Decisions. Okay. So I have on there you are, the 6 samplers that I have. St. Reatham, which you saw. It hasn't called for it yet, but I did stitch on that, but that was last month. Thirza Goes Goth. I started that for my top surgery celebration. Ashen Sampler by Maroony Crafts. Blech. I don't know why that was so hard. Hannah Harding by Queenstown Samplings. Oh, my phone's bored of me. The Cuckoo by Longdog. The Heart Sampler by Bad Vibes Only. Jan? Is it Jan or Jane? Jane Hopkins by Hands Across the Sea. And the Grand Verlander by Quiltify Designs. So I have 1, 2, 4, 5. I have 8. I have 8 samplers. Now, Hannah Harding I really didn't need to stitch on because I had a page finish. But I put her in there anyway. She showed up twice. The Cuckoo showed up twice. And Thirza showed up once so far. So let me show you what I've done with that. No, sorry. Hannah Harding showed up thrusts 3 times. And she's like my hardest. Okay. But wait. Oh, here we go. The Cuckoo. Let's start with the Cuckoo. So on the 21st and the 25th, which is, I'm filming this on a Thursday, so that was yesterday, it chose the Cuckoo. Let me see if I got, yeah. This is from a Longdog sampler packet. It's a packet of a bunch of them. And I love the saying. It says, the cuckoo is a queer bird. He sits upon the grass with his wings neatly folded and his beak thrust up his ass. Arse. I did stitch arse, not ass. But I will change it if This is stitched on white, but I decided to change it up and stitch on blue, on a blue 25 count something that I dyed myself. Let me get all these stray threads. Last year I had to pay, I think I started it last year. Last year I had a page finish. So it's teeny tiny. Here's it all. Look at that. Oh, she's pretty. So that was the first page finish. And I'm working down here. And because my wheel has spun twice, I almost have another page finish. Look at that. I always call these little, I don't know why, I call these thistle. I don't know, they look like thistles to me. Check her out. Oh, I love her. She's great. So if I get one more call, I could finish a page. And on all my samplers, my goal is to get a page a year. Because I do so much sampler stitching in September. So I can accomplish my goals. I think when I do my whip parade in November for my birthday, we're going to have to reevaluate or even mock me for my goals that I started at the beginning of the year. Okay, now Hannah. Let's talk about Hannah. Girl, she was picked on the 22nd and the 24th. And also she was picked for today. And I'm like, girl, that's enough. I've had enough of you. Not because I don't like her, but because I have other things I'd like to stitch and I don't have a lot of time. So I'd like it to be random. Here's Hannah. Hannah Harding, Queenstown Sampler Design. It's cute. I love it. I started this sampler because, this is the start of my HRT. Sorry, not HRT. It was the start of my testosterone. My first testosterone shot. I love her because she's got weird organic stuff going on. Dang, does she ever. Look at that basket. Look at those weird, look at that. Is that Is that a penguin up there? Just weird stuff. Just there's a squirrel. She's just got a lot going on. The girl's got a lot going on. Now, if you know the story about this one, it is stitched on Cedar River linen, 40 count, and the name is Albarium. I got gifted this beautiful piece of fabric as kind of a hooray for me starting HRT from Jody, lovely, lovely, sweet Jody of Trixie Tricycle. And I'm like, she's like, what fabric do you want? I want 40 count, because that's the sampler thing. I did not look at the sampler pattern, and I did not notice that everything inside the border is over one. Everything. Everything. But I persevered. So I'm doing on the inside over one on 40 count, but I am doing a 10 stitch, because you know what? As Brenda from the samplers, Brenda and the Sampler Stitcher, Sampler Starter, you know, those OGs, our two moms, you can't tell. You can't tell it's 10 stitch. So everything, that little bellflower, that is what I have accomplished in 2 days, and I would say a morning of stitching. Pretty good. Now, one of those days I was watching F1 and it was a boring race, so I got a lot done. Look at how weird it is. She's so good. It was hurting my eyeballs. But I did figure out, like, I got a laundry's done. I did get sounds like the beginning of SpongeBob. I don't know if you could hear that, but I have a real jaunty tune on my on my washer. Anyway, what was I going to say about this? It's weird. Magnifying. So last year when I started it, I did this raw. Oh baby, I like it raw. Stitching 40 count over one, but I don't like that. My eyes did hurt sometimes. I got eye strain. And so I bought myself a magnifying glass with a light on it, just a little otter light, and I couldn't figure out because I kept shaking and it wasn't the right distance, and I kind of, with this bellflower, I kind of found the right distance where I can get it a little bit more magnified. And I would say not that much, but just a teeny bit. Come on, can you see the teeny stitches? There they are. Folks, I'm doing a whole sampler like this. I'm going to go blind before I finish this. And that's a bold prediction, but I'm in my late 30s and I'm showing signs of, what's it called? The macular degeneration, where you see little spots. I'm starting to show signs of that in this little eye. So we'll see. It's a race against time. Maybe that's why the wheel keeps choosing this one, because I'm running out of time with good eyes to do this. Maybe then I just need a bigger magnifying glass. So that was 2.5 days. And then on the 23rd, oh baby, I got Thirza Goes Goth. And Thirza Goes Goth is by Hemlock Kansas City girl in a Colorado world. It's funky. It's weird. And Julie made it even funkier with this type of palette. She redid the palette to make it like goth. Whoa, look at these colors. I started this, like I said, for on the day of my top surgery, which is now officially 3 months. Can you see my new knits? Oh, you can. You can kind of see them. Oh, Wow. And I don't have to censor anything. I'm sorry if children are watching. My new nips, my new nips, my new tits that cost the cost of a used car. Okay, here's Thirza. I'm doing her on some thrifted fabric. I think it's called Fiddler's Cloth. It's like OG stuff. And I dyed it and then bleached it and then dyed it and bleached it. In that day, I did that fruit bowl. A little bit. I think it's like a bunch of blueberries. Doesn't it look like a bunch of blueberries? And I also discovered out of the 10,000 colors that Thirza has, I'm missing one. There he is. Look at how weird. Look at how weird and wonderful. By the way, Julie has a new pattern with Evertoe and Roxy Floss Company. It's a reproduction, and it's fabulous. It's got a lot of weird stuff. Julie knows how to find the weird samplers that have these motifs or colors, and is like, this is a choice that this 11-year-old child who stitched the original, she made some choices. And the new one has like a googly eye tree. You gotta go see it. Maybe I'll link it below. It's dope. It's on my list, but I have so many samplers. It's on the list. I got a lot of stuff by Julie on my list. Anyway, Thirza, I'm so happy I got one more day on her. I spun the wheel, and tonight I'm going to work on not Hannah Harding, even though I spun the wheel even though I spun the wheel for today and I said Hannah Harding, I just spent the morning on her, so I didn't cheat the system. I spun the wheel again, and it gave me the Afshan sampler by Marumi Crafts, so I will be doing that tonight. Okay, let's talk Stitchy Kindness. My world was a tizzy, and as I said, I got, I don't know if I showed this, by the way, themed. I don't know if I showed, people sent, hi, it's me, your Stitch Dad. Y'all are so nice to me. I don't deserve you. I had some people send me some very lovely cards and little comfort things for my surgery back in June, and things have been arriving in June and July. I'm sorry if I didn't show everything on camera, but I know I did message everyone, thanking them. And I was cleaning off my table. A pin on the floor. Sorry. I was cleaning off my table, and I realized I had this lovely thing from my friend Jackie, who gave me, I don't know if I showed this. That's why I wanted to show it again. And if I did show it back in June, then I apologize, but, you know, Jackie's work is so cute that it doesn't matter. I don't know if anyway, I found it again, and I'm going to take it out and actually put it up with all my cute stuff that I have going on over here. This is Jackie. Jackie sent me this little pillow. I think I did show this, because I remember talking to you about this and how good you did. Jackie, you get all the love in the world. And also sent me some very cool bejeweled. I got a whole bunch of floss that I need to have fun with. And I think I did show you Ozzy, because I did follow Ozzy. There's Ozzy. Focus on Ozzy. Focus on Ozzy. No, not gonna do it. Don't wanna. No. There he is. That's as close as you could get. Oh, there he is! He's trans. I don't know if I showed you that, but you know what, Jackie? I found your bag again in my big mess, and I wanted to make sure that I doubly thanked you if I haven't. I'm running out of room up here. Oh no. no! That's fine. I'll organize it later. It's like avalanche is going to happen. I have so much. I have cards. I have presents. This is from 30 floss tubes. This is the Bryn and Needle floss monster. They're responsible for that. By the way. Bryn and Needle. The sampler that I showed you last Flosstube, it is available right now. If I was technologically sound and smart, I would put up a little picture reminding you of what it was. I actually did send that to Bryn and Needle as part of a trunk show that Kari and I are doing with a whole bunch of our patterns. So if you are in Newfoundland and you do stop by Bryn and Needle, you get to see a bunch of our models and you'll get to buy paper patterns, which is so cool. But if you are nowhere near Newfoundland, you could go online and you can get the digital copy of their Bryn and Needle Duckworth Lane sampler. Highly recommend. Mwah, love them. Okay, that's that plug. Thank you, Jackie. And then I have one more Stitchy kindness. I love it when someone says, hey, I like the thing that you showed on your floss tube and you said you were done with it or that you'd be cool to trade with it. Can we trade? And I'm like, yes, let's trade. And they're like, what do you want? And I say, surprise me. I love that. So my friend Karine from Quebec said, I want the extra copy of the William Morris cross-stitch book because I have 3 copies. That story, you have to go back to know that story. And Karine said, hey, I'd love for you to send me that book, and then what would you like? And I said, surprise me. And Karine surprised me. First of all, some lovely fabric, and extra bonus points for this fabric. This is the fabric I do. This is Zweigart Laguna 28 count navy blue. This is the exact fabric that I do my sorry, a cute note. This is the exact fabric that I do my let's make a statement on. I had to reboot there, sorry. So, ha ha ha! And then also one with hearts. And then also cute one with hearts. We got some widow patterns. And I actually already have this one in digital. So maybe I'll give that away. And look at this one! Calling me a hoe? Hoe? I got some beautiful floss. Some just random beautiful floss. This is my... How did Karine... Oh! Hell yeah, from my collection. This is Holidays from the Bay. Cheers, me dears. Do I already have this? Probably. But I'm going to add it to my big monster. We got a classic Colorworks. Some very nice yellow. This is Sea Oats. That's... Ooh, and a fabulous Roxy Flossco. Pink, peachy pink. We got some almond M&Ms. This is rosé. I think I have some. So that will be nice to put together. And then a nice needle minder. I have to bring this upstairs. That's beautiful. I'm a collector. And then, actually, literally my favorite part are these French magazines, cross-stitch magazines. There is something about French, it's like Japanese cross-stitch magazines. There's a style. Oh, look at this puppy and kitty. Shabby chic. Very cute. Look at that poodle. Look at that chicken nugget. There's just something about the aesthetic. I think it's like there's some extra back stitch. Like, kitten. I'm not a cat person. there's just something about French cross stitch that I love. I love to look at, and ooh, wow. And I think I will at least find something fun to do with this. Of chaos. Wow. Wow. You're just seeing me look through it, and I'm sure that's really interesting. Okay, I'll pick out one more pattern for you to look. Like, look at these little sweet little, like, they're just tiny, but they're so detailed. That's what the French do, right? Like a little mushroom. No, it's an umbrella. Look at this. Oh, I know this designer. Lily Violette. Biscuit. So cute. Biscuit. I used to teach grade 8 French. A table. Or, in America, a table. It doesn't mean that. Wait, does it? A table. Just something sweet about... Oh, wow. Like, look how cute. Look how cute. That's me barfing. That's flippin' adorable. I recognize this designer too. Look at it. Look at those children. They're frolicking. Okay. Anyway, if anyone wants to send me either French or Japanese crap, I'll take it and have cute aggression. And then have fun with it. Will I ever stitch it? Who knows? But it's not about stitching. It's about the journey, isn't it? Thank you, Green, for trading me. And if anyone ever wants to trade me ever, the answer is always yes, because I love snail mail. I'll put these away later. Plus, okay. Stretch. Oh. Now is an education time. No, there we are. If you're not an education person, you can skip. But usually I talk about something that I'm passionate about because I am an educator, so I like to educate you. Usually it's about trans issues, but today it is about your body. More importantly, your little fingy fungies, these guys, and your wrists. So, long story. Since my surgery, things have gotten a little discombobulated in my body. I went from wearing a binder, like almost 2 tight binders at once, for most of the day, for 12 hours a day, daily for years, to having surgery, which cuts through everything, and then 6 weeks of not being able to raise your arms. So my body was a little disjointed. Long story short, a neurological issue that I've had for about 4 years now started to kick up a fuss when I started to raise my right arm. I've always had a problem with this side. This is your vagus nerve that goes through your jaw and your neck here. It regulates your heart rate, your autonomic nervous system, like when you breathe while you're sleeping, even like digestion and like having to pee and poo. That's what it regulates. When mine was the worst, I had to be on heart medication to regulate my own heart. So it's been good. And then I started to raise my hand, and then it started to be not so good because my muscles are very confused. While I raise my arm, when you raise your arm, your back muscles and you need to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Your scapula lifts with you. But my scapula, so I don't know why I've been saying it like someone from Chicago. My scapula didn't know how to lift because it had been bound for so long, and it had adapted not to move as much. And so my shoulders and traps did a lot of the heavy lifting. And so after not moving my arms up for 6 weeks and then suddenly moving my arms up, my neck and my traps went, oh, we'll lift your arm, don't worry. And it just, my neck and my jaw and my poor little nervous system went into overload. I had a month of awful neurological and muscle symptoms. Lots of medication, still on it. We're still doing it. But I went to physio. This is a long story. But we're going to get to these soon. And I realized how important, and I knew this because I'm a physio geek, because my whole world is glued together with physio, how important it is to make sure and go slow to make sure your body is moving like it should. So I have been on, this is week 4 of retraining my body on how to raise my arm, and I'm still not there. I can still feel like this is doing a lot of the work, but we're getting there. I don't have awful headaches. I don't have awful neurological symptoms. We're doing okay. With all that, I realized, as stitchers, are we taking care of the things that we care about most, these little guys? Because sometimes we sit and we stitch for a very long time. And there's going to be a point where your poor little hands maybe aren't used to that repetitive nature, and the tendons and the muscles won't be able to handle it, and you won't be able to do it as much, whether that be arthritis or tendinitis or whatever. So what can we do to make our hands as healthy as possible? We can exercise them. Now I know if you're, first of all, I'm getting really hot. I gotta take off my shirt. Oh. They're just, when you get top surgery, your nipples are, when they graft your nipples are a little darker. So mine are like very, that's why you can see them. It's not because I have huge nipples, huge poppy out. Anyway, let's get back to these. So I was thinking, how can we incorporate some movements that I've learned through rehabilitation, especially tendon and nervous system movements, that might help you going forward? And I have 3 moves for you. And these come from me from my physios over the years, specifically weightlifting, and also through the physio I do for my top surgery. If you're interested in this, I could do we could do a cross stitch workout together, but we're going to start off small. Let's start with wrists. Now we have so many little bones in there. If you've ever broken your wrist, you know there's 100 million bones in there. But there's all little. And if you ever have cement mixer wrists, mine are actually, oh, you can't even hear them because I've been doing my exercises. You know it's tough. A way to help that, and you have to be very gentle, is you raise your hand and you're going to hold the 2 bones that you have here. You're going to hold them so they don't twist. Because these bones here, they twist. That's what they're made to do. But you want them to stay solid. And as you hold, you're going to just do some wrist movements. And you might hear a clickety-clack. And you might hear lots of clickety-clacks. But that's just the bones kind of falling back into place and your wrist moving as you should. Now, if you have carpal tunnel, if you have any wrist issues, talk to your own physio first before you do all these things. These are supposed to be meant to be nice and light for you, but that might be irritating. So if anything's irritating, make sure you stop. But for those of us who kind of have some wrist clicking, this is so nice. So you do a couple rounds forward, and then a couple rounds back. And that just helps those little bones sit back into place so you don't get all crunchety crackety. And I'm going to do this run too. So think about before you cross stitch. This is a hard movement, especially if it's repetitive. So give your wrists some love. Give those little bones some love. Okay, speaking of, we have a long nerve that goes underneath your collarbone all the way out to your thumb. And that thumb can get really irritated. So this is something I learned when I had my top surgery program. It's just a nice stretch. So you're going to put your arm out like you're carrying, like you're a waiter carrying something heavy. And I want you to push your arm and glide it out. Oh, and you might feel it in your thumb. You'll feel it all the way down. And these are just some nice slides to do. And then push. Oh, that feels so nice. I've been doing these a lot lately just to get my little nervous system back into order. And it's just really nice. It's in your shoulders. It's all through your arm. It's in your thumb. It's that long nerve that sends so much information to your body. And especially if you're hunched over and you're gripping between your thumb and forefinger, that might be really nice to kind of just stretch and release every once in a while. You could do it both at once. So that's number 2. Number 3, we're going to do, again, another tendon slide. Again, if you have tendinitis or carpal tunnel, make sure you ask your physio before you do this. But for anyone who just like wants to keep their tendons nice and healthy, so I do this for weightlifting because my grip strength. So you're going to start with an arrow, your hand straight, and you're going to curl your fingers, and you're going to make a fist. And then you're going to slide your fingers. And it's hard because you don't have any muscles in your hand. Or that is what my physios tell me. It's just tendons moving your fingers. It's all down here. So getting that slide and helping, I'm not really good at it. It might be hard to do that. So that's maybe something to practice. Again, if you feel any pain, stop. And there's always physiotherapists around where you are who know a lot more than me. This is just the knowledge that I carry over to I would say, a good almost 20 years of physio in my life. Just things that I incorporate into my cross stitch that I think you might like too. If you like these, gosh, I could do a whole cross stitch workout video where we just stretch and work out our shoulders and neck and hands. I would really love that. But maybe you're not into it. It's fine. But I hope you do those 3 things. I'm really bad at this one. Can you see how it chunks? I gotta do it more. Tell me if you'd like to exercise with me. We can get strong. We can get strong together. This is nothing. I haven't been able to properly lift weights in 3 months, so I apologize for that. I'll put that away. Okay. Speaking of you and me, every month that I do a cross stitch Flosstube video, I pick one comment from last month and I send a little thing to the person who commented. So if you'd like to comment on this month's and you'd like to put your name in the Google Drive, the Google link down below, the Snail Mail Club, so I know where to send this stuff to. If I pick you, then I'll send you something. Easy as that. I think there's a random YouTube comment picker. And the person getting the stuff, what is it? I don't know. Maybe something Halloween-y. Is, I know these two. Stephanie. Oh, Peter Rabbit book I can lend you. Hoo-hoo. Stephanie, I think I talked about Cross Stitch the Globe last month, but like these two, what a delight. And I have them on, when I watch Flosstube, I have it on ×2, and these two just sound like two cute little chipmunks, and their little giggles go because it's ×2. I love their stuff. So Stephanie, I'm sending stuff for you. Stephanie, did you fill out the Google form? I haven't checked, but I'll hunt you down. I'll hunt you down. I'll send you something whether you like it or not. Okay, let me put my jacket back on so my breasts aren't out. My titties aren't out. Oops. As I struggle to put on my jacket. Remember, if you'd like to be on the Snail Mail Club, you can do a comment. You can put your name and address in the form below. I will send anywhere internationally, and just make sure you're over 18 because I'm getting your address. So that's one. Number two, if you learned something from me today, or you just, you want to bring me a little joy, you can buy me a coffee. I have a Ko-fi link down below. If you want to make me really happy, you can go to my Ko-fi shop. I have designs, or you can go to Kari's shop. We have a lot of designs we've designed together. Those links are below. Is there anything else? It's September. I'm going to go stitch on a sampler. And I'll see you in October! Wow! Until next time, I'm your Stitch Dad. And if anyone has never told you, I'm like really proud of you for all you've done. And that's not facetious. I am really proud of you. See you next time. Bye-bye.